Have you ever felt like you're just stuck? Like no matter how hard you try, peace and happiness seem just out of reach? Well, you're not alone. In today's story, we'll follow a young man named Kavi who, like many of us, is searching for answers in a world that feels chaotic and uncertain. But sometimes, the answers aren't as far as we think. They're just waiting for us to learn how to see them. This story will show you how to find peace by learning from something we all take for granted, nature. Let's dive in. Meet Kavi, a young man with a heart full of dreams. But despite all his efforts, something fell off. He worked hard, chased after goals, but something was missing. He was restless, frustrated. Nothing ever seemed to bring him the peace he was searching for. He had so many dreams, but they always felt just out of reach. No matter how much he tried to control his life, no matter how hard he worked, peace always seemed to slip through his fingers. But then one day, Kavi heard whispers of a man named Niran, someone who could offer answers to life's toughest questions. They said he had the wisdom of the ages, and his words could change everything. Kavi knew he had nothing to lose, so he set off to find Niran, hoping that maybe, just maybe, this old man had the key to the peace he so desperately sought. Kavi finally found Niran sitting by a pond, his eyes calm and steady, as if he had all the time in the world. The old man didn't speak, but his presence was powerful. There was something about him that made Kavi feel like everything was going to be okay. Without a word, Niran invited Kavi to sit beside him. They sat in silence for a while, the only sound being the soft ripple of water. Finally, Kavi couldn't hold back any longer. He spoke from his heart, asking the question that had been weighing on him for so long. Kavi, spoken, emotionally, "Wise Niran, I feel lost. I've tried everything, but nothing brings me peace. I have dreams, but I can't seem to reach them. What am I doing wrong?" Niran, spoken, with a twinkle in his eye, "There is a tree in the forest nearby. It stands tall and strong. Every season, it loses its leaves, but every year it grows higher. Go to this tree, spend time with it, and when you understand why it's important, return to me." Kavi was puzzled, but he trusted the old man's wisdom. So, with no idea what he would learn, he set off towards a forest. Kavi walked through the forest, the air fresh and cool. The deeper he went, the more he felt like something important was just ahead. And then he saw it. There it was, the tree, bare of leaves, standing alone as if waiting for him. At first, it seemed empty, but as Kavi approached, something about it felt peaceful. He sat beneath it, feeling the quiet around him, letting the world slow down. As he sat there, he started to notice something. The tree didn't resist the changes around it. It didn't mourn the loss of its leaves. Instead, it stood tall through every season, every storm. It simply was. And in that moment, Kavi realized something powerful. Peace didn't come from controlling everything. It didn't come from avoiding pain or holding on to what's familiar. True peace came from accepting the changes life brings without fighting them. The tree had taught him that. Kavi returned to Niran's home, his heart lighter than when he left. He couldn't wait to share what he'd learned. "So, what did you learn?" Niran asked, his voice filled with curiosity. Kavi, spoken with a serene smile, "I learned that peace isn't about avoiding change or clinging to the past. It's about accepting life as it is, the good, the bad, and everything in between. Like the tree, I need to grow through the seasons, not fight against them." Niran, spoken, wise, and calm. "Exactly, Kavi. Life will always change, just like the seasons. But peace comes when we learn to live with those changes. When we stop fighting the flow of life, we can finally find stillness within ourselves." Kavi returned to his village, but he was no longer the same. He no longer chased after perfection or tried to control every moment. He had learned to embrace life as it came, both the beautiful and the difficult. And in doing so, he became a source of wisdom to others. just as Niran had been. People came to him with their own questions, and Kavi, now filled with peace, was able to help them see the truth for themselves. The seasons will always change, but peace doesn't come from controlling them. It comes from learning to grow with them. Just like the tree. Thank you for listening to Kavi's story. Remember, life's greatest lesson isn't about avoiding the storms. It's about learning how to stand tall through them, just like the tree. Embrace the changes, and you'll find the peace you've been looking for. Until next time, take a moment to slow down, breathe, and let the seasons of your life unfold.